We are back live here on the Independent Investor channel. Welcome back to all the community members who have been so devoted to this movement and message over the years. My message is significantly different than the rest, honestly. This whole YouTube thing is an interesting way to bring people together, no doubt about it, but certainly not for my glory. Okay. If you expect to come in here and sit down and have me deliver the glory and exactly how you need to live your life, you're in the wrong spot. I give all that stuff back. I don't care one bit about it. I'm super proud of the project. I was super proud of doing YouTube 5 years ago when I started. And this project has just evolved over time. It's become a significant part of what I look forward to. Completely genuine, nothing manufactured on the Independent Investor channel live stream. I look forward to coming in, really taking a pause to what I deploy week to week is pretty engaging. I spend a lot of time looking at financial markets. I spend a lot of time monitoring the portfolio. I spend a lot of time monitoring the landscape, what's going on. And it's for reasons like what Rebecca has declared here to the group, meeting a milestone here in less than 6. I remember when she made the 6-figure milestone, which is up there with one of the biggest ones, because $100,000 is just a significant amount of wealth for somebody who works a blue collar job, and she will take no offense to that. And I wanted to give her a shout out at the beginning of the live stream because she may be caught up in some work detail there. But for sure, all the salute out to all the veterans out there this week. Certainly, make sure that you take time and remember, all the people that sacrifice and are continuing to sacrifice the opportunities that are made possible here in this great country and abroad as well. A lot of wonderful people, and Rebecca's one of them. Certainly tip my hat to the frontline workers out there, firefighters, law enforcement, and healthcare workers alike, who I lump right in there as being right on the front lines, fighting right now. And it's been a crazy couple years and a lot to be thankful for. There's no doubt about it. But if you guys are a veteran, and I've got Bob in the group here, and I've got Mr. Tanks here in the group, who's my brother, and shipmate. You guys can absolutely please stand up and be recognized, and just put your veteran status in the thread here. And there'll be folks like myself who will take and randomly, selectively call you guys out and give you your due acknowledgement. But I want to make sure that we acknowledge that Thursday's coming around, and it's just been an on-fire week in the markets. Just been an absolutely fantastic time to be an investor. I've said that many times over. So if I can impart to anybody out there that's coming new to the investing game, that's why I put those testimonials up there. It doesn't need to be me all the time coming on and professing about the opportunity that exists within investing. It carries more weight if we can put those testimonials in the group here and show how people are making thresholds. That's just incredible. And I would venture to guess, and I don't want to speak for Rebecca, I don't, but I would venture to guess that had the decision not been made to invest however many years ago she decided to embark on this journey, there wouldn't have been that level of wealth. That money would have been it would have been dissolved away in other avenues, and where people just make that conscious choice just to step up. And sometimes it takes that revelation for yourself, or looking in the mirror and saying, I can, and embarking on that journey, and really using your free will to change the trajectory of your life. That's going to be some of the things that I jotted down for you guys as an ambassador of this message, somebody who in the next coming years, as we evolve with the Independent Investor channel opportunity, it's becoming a staunch realization to me that we're knocking on the door here to millionaire status within the next few years. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Don't hold a grudge. You'll get the same ornery tea drinking Ryan on every live stream. I will not stop this project once millionaire status is reached. I think it'll be just an acknowledgement for me and then a quick how are we going to leverage this, and how are we going to scale up getting this message that I believe so wholeheartedly in to the masses, because I think it is scalable. And what I mean by that is the ability to change the trajectory of your life just by saying I can. And the stock market is easy. It is. Refute a lot of different ideas out there about I can't do it, Ryan. I don't have the wherewithal to do it. I can't do it. And I find that in a lot of cases, a lot of people get it. They can step right into the investing gig, and I just open my eyes and I'm like, yeah, you betcha. You get it. You get the very, very simple steps. Your focus is where it needs to be. Okay. It's not following the YouTube audience blindly and just falling into a false pretense of a message from somebody who, I hate to break it to you guys, and for the 43 people in here who are interested in a truth bomb, we're just regular people. Graham Stephan, there's nothing special about him. Nothing. Jeremy with financial education. Now, he self-induces himself as a god. There's nothing special about these people. As a matter of fact, I watch them sometimes and I actually feel sorry for them, because it seems like they're mixed up in this whole like YouTube thing and putting on a show for everybody else. You will not get that from me. I refuse to come on and put on a show. I do this my way, and it will continue to be my way, because there's only one of me, just like there's only one of you. And I think the real secret to personal wealth is getting over the multitude of personal barriers. If in fact you haven't, people like myself, if you sit down with me, I can kind of help you identify some of those personal barriers for yourself, man. There's so many beautiful people out there, man. Just killer people. But if they could just get out of their own way and drop a few things that they think they understand about money, they'd be so much better off. Just listen. It's going to feel weird because it's going to be contrary to those boundaries that are very, very real. If it were that easy, everybody would just step right in and hit the ground running and validate this stuff for themselves. Okay. It's not that easy for a lot of people. Okay. But you have to have conviction about why you do this. You have to get over your constant inability to give yourself a fighting chance by saying, I can in this life. It transcends investing. Investing is one of those things that you can be a complete disaster in, and you can succeed as an investor. I just think the holistic element to the message that we put out through the Independent Investor channel is to make sure we're striving toward all elements of life in no matter what capacity. What is going to be good for an all good in the group here? A very, very simple moment, sitting down on a Friday with a live stream with a cup of coffee and chilling out for the evening. Those elements of peace and those elements of things that we look forward to in our life, whatever it may be, it's to extrapolate the beauty in each one of those different things, interactions that we do, activities that we engage in, purchases that we could maybe potentially make for ourselves. But it's all good, baby. As this week of reflection comes around, I just want to welcome everybody to the group. It's just been an absolutely fabulous week for me. If you can tell, I'm fired up, baby. Yeah, I've got the fire burning. Got the diesel engine working on all cylinders tonight. Absolutely ready to deliver the goods to you guys for the Independent Investor channel live stream, the fastest 60 minutes on YouTube. No doubt about it. I'd like to welcome everybody to the group. This week, and they said, Ryan, you're a weird guy. And I sit back now and I'm like a rhino on social media. You got to have tough skin on social media, because you've got some people come on that just straight up hate you. They don't have any idea of, if they knew me, they would like me. I'm a good guy. I've saved 2 lives in my life. I'm a good guy. Like, I will be that guy that saves your ass, even though me and you were at each other's throat the night before. That's a true story from the fishing boat. Um, but it says you're a weird guy. I thought they sat back up off of it, and I was like, What? How the hell you know that? You just watch one live stream. I think I speak pretty good English. I think my word is conveyed pretty well, but yeah, I am. I embrace the idea of being different in my application, and I actually relish in it. And where I think a lot of people are too careful to say the right thing all the time, I blast that shit out of the water, man. I love ruffling feathers. I love it. I love kind of laughing in the back of my head as to what I see, how people try so hard to fit in. Keeping up with the Joneses is the funniest thing. For the totality of my life, I've never understood that. Like, if you guys knew where I came from, and the neighbors must have saw us when we were kids, man, sneaking down to the pond and skinny dipping in the pond and stuff, and thinking we're hiding from everybody. But man, we were hot. It was 100 degrees, man, and we don't have a swimming pool. Only rich people have swimming pools, but I got a pond, and the frogs don't really care. It's kind of muddy on the bottom and stuff, but man, is it refreshing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm a weird guy. I would never trade my roots for nothing, because you get out and you feel refreshed. You down there buck naked, killing the bees, with the mud patties. I mean, this is me, real talk, baby. This is me and my brothers. So I appreciate the comment. You guys pointing me out as one of those weird guys. I appreciate that. I don't watch a lot of content online because, and I don't watch TV anymore because nobody has the ability to come on and just talk like I'm talking. Everything has to be scripted, and I have to say the right thing or the politically correct thing, and I just don't like that at all. I like to challenge the status quo in most capacities. I do. And where I see things awry, especially along the financial avenue for a lot of people look at the opportunity and what do they see? I sometimes try to put myself in the lens of a new investor and try to ask myself, what is it that they see? Well, they probably saw a lot of what I saw, which is why this long and winding road for me has got me closing in on $550,000 of net worth. And like I said, we'll be a couple years away from that $1 million mark. There's no doubt about it. Like Rebecca talked about, surpassing that 100 and getting up to the 100 and a half that quick in 6 months, it really just goes to show how powerful a passive element of your portfolio can be with a conducive market. Markets can be up and down. I saw a fabulous Instagram post that talked about, had you invested during the worst times of the S&P 500, you still would have rendered an 8% rate of return. So just an incredible opportunity there to not chalk up investing as being gambling, get out of your own way as far as what you think you know about the markets. I do this all the time with my own application, with my own strategy, where I didn't think something that I was going to do 2 years ago. I end up maybe coming to around term because I want to grow wealth. I'm looking at wealth building and I'm becoming a lot more aggressive with taking opportunity in the market, guys. So let's roll out the portfolios. We're up 20,000 week over week. It was a really good week for us. It's been a really when things are down, think the gallery appreciates my transparency and coming on and sharing my feeling and pulse about the market, whether or not I feel like it's, so where I thought last year, 2020 was just an absolute gangbuster year for me. As of late, it's turned on quite nicely, and we're starting to get some respectable action going on here. Healthy above 6, 104.33 in the joint brokerage account. This has an element of strategy to it in that I've got some large cap technology growth with Google and Amazon, discretionary, of course, in telecom, but certainly some large cap growth, some value in the portfolio with some industrials play, aerospace with LMT and Boeing. AT&T has just been a bastard this year, no doubt. Very disappointing holding. Hyliion's been on fire, up 20% here week over week. And as this holding starts to materialize. Fantastic news today about the first stop at Wegmans on their validation tour across the U.S. using the Hypertruck Innovation Council. I typically try to keep the Hyliion discussion to a minimum during a live stream, but it is an enormous position in my portfolio. I own 12,000 shares of the company, so it is worth earmarking and mentioning. And you guys might think, man, right, that's stupid, or you're crazy, or gosh, Ryan, you're different. Jesus, I've heard that before, right? Here's what I want you to think about that. I want you to think about this. Look at this guy who used to kill bees with mud patties, buck naked as the freaking jaybird down at the pond, skinny dip, and look at him now, beating the odds. Beating the odds. He's got the ability from a retail perspective to put $100,000 down on a company that I have 100% conviction on. This will just take time. Um, the last couple of weeks have been great validation that we have earnings in 4 days. Lovely enough. This is a 5-year plus play, and I honestly might get just sickishly crazy and throw a complete curveball into this trade here and keep it ultra long. We'll see what happens. But I've got my first benchmark set for the stock. And unlike the fish who I covered in the timing downgrade, he's got his ass whipped, had his ass handed to him since that downgrade. Stock's up 20% since then. So good job, Fish. Way to live up to your reputation as a subpar analyst. Really appreciate your contributions to Hyliion the last couple of weeks. My hat goes off to you from the independent investor, specifically me, and the grander community of Hyliioners out there. Really appreciate that. But anyway, 97.3 on the stock to cash allocation here. Here's the Roth. Fantastic. 126, doing great. Realty income, whipping some ass. Everything's whipping some ass. Like I said, the week was enormous. We were up week over week in this portfolio handily, not incrementally. This was a very good week. My S&P 500 position is just incredible. That VOO is such a powerful asset. And for you guys out there that think I can't, that's the I can right there. VOO. That's the skeleton key to entry into the stock market, is to own the S&P 500. It's an asset that you could own this year. It's an asset that you could own in 5 years, 10 years, and 20. Why? Because you know that Vanguard is going to passively get you the alignment to the S&P 500 with that exposure as the S&P evolves and changes over time. So it's always going to ensure that you have that exposure to the S&P with an anemic expense, 0.03 over this fund. It is the skeleton key, I feel like, to the market. Missing out on some small cap. I do supplement it with the VBK, which is a small cap growth. V&Q real estate to supplement the O holding, but real estate REIT as well. It's a nice ETF, specialty ETF there, just to own the whole sector and throw it in the Roth. I like it. It's a cool way of investing. So here's the Roth too. Here's me. I swung trade Matterport this week like a champ that I am. I'm back on my horse again. It's nice because I felt like everything I touched turned to dog shit this year. So it was nice to actually prove to myself that I could actually make money doing what it is that I really like to do, and that's swing trade. So I've been on a hot streak with Google. I'm in the shares long now. I added back in with some of the profits there, right? Some house money profits roll back into Google. So that's the 4-share position in Google. Nothing crazy, but man, I'm a retail investor. Shit, that's a $10,000 bill. You know, for a lot of new investors out there, you still need to get up to your first 10,000. Started the Webull account this week, started Robinhood. I've been real down on both of those, but for cash accounts, I wanted to become more familiar with them. Initiated a mid-cap strategy in Robinhood and initiated a growth strategy within Webull. And it's more exploratory for me. We'll be checking out the platforms. We'll be rolling those out through affiliate links through the channel. Why not? F it. I'm kind of back on this whole, like, I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to try not to get in my own way. Now, if I work through the product and I don't like it, no problem. I'll throw it in the gutter, go buy another. It's no big deal. Not a problem at all. But I do want to explore some of these brokers that I have not been using and deploy some strategic technique, get those up to 10,000, just like I have on the other ones. The other ones are approaching other sizable financial goals. I mean, the dividend growth is pursuing that $50,000 mark next, because in 2 years we've already ran right through the $10,000 mark. We've already just surpassed the $25,000 mark. So next in the financial threshold will be that $50,000 mark here. So, and here's the Vanguard's portfolio. This is the little passive portfolio that could in M1 Finance is whipping some ass. Not going to apologize for this. Again, to come in and celebrate success, great. You can borrow mine. You can have it. Shit, I'm very proud of this. Just like I'm just as proud as Rebecca that the success transcends all people. You want to grab a little bit, put it in a bottle for yourself? No doubt about it. Do it. It's no problem. Success needs to permeate the group. It needs to be understood that others can enjoy success as well in whatever capacity that they can. Remember, getting over the barriers. All right. You're like, if this buck naked fella that goes skinny dipping in the pond and kills bees for a living growing up, that's his level of education can do it. So can I. You're not far from the truth. Okay. Nothing that I do is that special, except for I am intimately involved with my program intimately. I just love this shit. I love it. And I think more people should love it. Why? Because for the very, very people that actually should embrace the investing opportunity as if their life depend on it, I think most of the people disappoint me insofar as their level of aggressiveness and willingness to pursue is not there. You want to know what the great separator is between people with wealth and those without? The people with are willing to pursue. Those without are willing to and be content with being blasé. That's the great divide. So just ask yourself in what capacity. Now, I'm not saying you have to work with the same energy as me. Okay. Some people may look at me and be like, "You're weird, Ryan. You work on a different level." I do. Some may chalk it up as a curse. I don't know. I like myself. I like how, you know, how much things mean to me because I've been beat down. I've been through bad times, times where I could say, all right, I'm flirting with depression here. This is not cool. This is not cool. So when you swing so far on the other end of the spectrum, you define for yourself what it is that you're capable of taking on in this life. And it can dole it out. Anybody out there is going to agree with me on that. Nobody out there just has rose petals thrown at their feet everywhere they walk. A lot of people have gone through hard times. It's totally fine. It's how you bounce back from it and say, I can. Okay. So we're almost to the $20,000 mark on this. This is a portfolio that just has not been touched. This is just over 2 years. We've owned this portfolio since December of 2019. I chronicle these on the channel every now and then, occasionally. I've obviously digressed a little bit. The only product that I put through on the Independent Investor channel, and thank you, there were 20 people who popped into those promotional contents and clicked the thumbs up button for me. If you left a comment, that means the world to me. That helps support the message. I get paid a shit ton of money to do those, and I will continue to do those. Me and Elaine Guy, he's my boy now. Okay. I'm interviewing him on Monday. You're going to want to catch that interview. That company is incredible. Okay. Where you always talked about, in all the gangster movies, having an offshore bank account in Switzerland. Well, they take people's data and they secure it in accordance with the Swiss rules of engagement with regard to people's protection and privacy data laws. Okay. Here in the United States, we give away the farm and bastardize people's personal privacy. And we as Americans just willy-nilly give it away all the time. I'm guilty of it through social media. We just give away the farm, man. And people take and they farm that data and they sell it to people and they make huge money off of it. So the company GlobeX that I previewed this week, very, very exciting. I'm super stoked to talk to the CEO. And it also changes it up a little bit from the normal genre of precious metals, which, I'll do the content because I love the precious metal space. I'm just not a big fan of the junior mining space from an investment perspective. That's just my opinion, right? But when I do chronicle the companies, it's a lot of fun for me. So appreciate the support on that, man. I mean, no big deal. The stock's up, what, 10% in 5 days. No big deal, right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had somebody that was coming on. They were trolling the message too. I invited them on the live stream, come on and tell me how much of an asshole I am and how I should be transparent and showing my accounts. And I was like, I do that. Like, everything you see here down to the dollar is accurate. That's my deal. That's my gig. Okay. Yeah, and it's amazing how it's never enough for people over social media, and that's why I don't apologize. That's why I come on and I say, yeah, I have kind of a like, who gives an F? I really don't anymore, because I know that for people that are listening to this message and they're like, "Hey, Ryan, can you get back to the I can stuff? Because I need somebody to tell me what I can do, because I just need a little bit of encouragement. And if this doesn't give you any motivation, it should, man. It really should." Here's the 80 stock. This 79 holdings exactly just surpassed the $25,000 mark. This, for you guys have been with me a long, long time. This was a growth portfolio that I had for a while. I transitioned to the ARC portfolio for just a small bit, maybe a month or so. And then I thought better of it, transitioned it to the dividend growth strategy. One of the best moves I've ever made in the portfolio. And it's chugging right along just fine, too. We got the TSP here. TSP's up over 60. So we'll be approaching that 100,000's the next threshold in this. I just remember a couple months ago hitting the $50,000 mark. This is one that I'm aggressively funding up. And I've got an earmarked value over this of about $250,000 by the time I'm retired. That'll be a nice little deal here. Here's the new account, 1033. I have VEG in it. So the Vanguard's growth. We'll chronicle this. We'll grow it. And it'll be great to see it. Multiple accounts now. I've got up to $10,000, but it's nice to chronicle those on the channel and just show you how possible it is, because a lot of people out there need that barrier of entry broken down for them, and getting to that first $10,000 can be a huge milestone for each and everybody. And then Webull, which I actually love the platform a lot more. Bought VB, which is the excuse me, actually it's the VO. My apologies there. VB is the small cap mix with Vanguard. It's actually VO that I have, which is the mid cap grouping in with Vanguard. So this will be my mid cap strategy here. I Trust Capital reinvigorated this. I actually put $30 into Shibu Inu just to say that I did. Shiitake Umu for all you home gamers out there. But 57 in the Bitcoin, 42.85. This was a double up in the I Trust Capital. This is a cryptocurrency Roth IRA. If you want more information on it, check it out on the channel. That's fine. I am going to keep the affiliate program because there has been some interest. Shiba Inu, the cute dog, is now available on I Trust Capital. It was just named the broker of the year in 2021 for cryptocurrency. So good on them for doing what they're doing. If Shiba Inu makes me a ton of money, I think I bought 500,000 shares of it for $30 or something today, just for fun. Just have a little fun. Why not? It's $30, guys. Good grief. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys spend more of that in one trip to Starbucks. I figured I'd buy some Shibu Inu. I'll probably lose it all, but who knows? So, but anyway, yeah. Independent smiling 543, 470. We will get to our $1 million mark. And man, I think back on some of the comments that I've got about the world going to hell and Ryan, you invest, you're crazy. The government's ruining everything. And if you can just ignore some of that noise and identify how windy this road has been for me, I can't impart to you on a 60-minute live stream. But that's why this topic is really endless for me, because I can't stop to tell you how much progress we've made just in the last few years. And it should speak to the level of progress that could be possible for you and your family if you just look to take some initiative in a lot of different categories. Okay. But before we get into the I can type of dialogue that I want to engage in at the end of the live stream, I definitely want to jump in here, man, and say hi to the gallery, see who's all in there. Investing with Aaron is in the group. I just threw a wrench at you, Aaron, it's a good thing, man. I can't believe you didn't have one, but you've been such a staunch supporter of the channel. I think it would be refreshing to me if I came into a channel and said, "Hey, nobody thanks the audience more than the independent investor channel," because I truly do believe that the people who are part of this community and enjoying the success that Rebecca declared, some of the very, very successful portfolios, like Christopher Blaine is in the group here. These folks are self-made millionaires. And so, that level of success, I will be there. Uh, mark my word. There's no way that people who are geared like me don't make it. It's that simple. But he says Shiba laugh out loud. It is laughable. It's kind of silly. I think I bought it with 4 zeros. Remember I was talking about this last week, but we'll see what ends up happening with that. Just having a little bit of fun anyway. ARK is trash. Yeah. Was just a little bit too rich for my case. And at the time is interesting because that's one of my most popular videos. And it's one that I got some of the biggest hate for when I did my review of the ARK ETFs. I just thought for the expense it's a philosophy about going after hyper growth, and it goes against some of the fundamental ideas that traditionally those really haven't been the way. Now in the short and medium term, they can be awful tempting to jump into, and Kathy Wood makes a compelling case for these products out there on the marketplace, but they just weren't for me. I don't know if I typically try to stray away from language out there that says, one thing is wrong or one thing is right, because maybe in the right allocation, it could be good for someone who's looking for an ETF that gives them, exposure to those genomic sectors, the space sector, the hyper growth sectors, some of those names that there's no way you could just cherry pick them and pick a few of them that's going to work for you. So put 5% in ARK. You know what I mean? It never hurts, but I currently don't own it. I don't share in the sentiment that it's trash. I don't, but for some people it can work, and for others it may not. I'm kind of in the latter camp of somebody who's done away with it, and I haven't missed it a bit. I made good money when I was in them, and I haven't missed owning them. I don't think I'm missing out. My exposure to ETFs that I'm a little bit more excited about are the ones I've declared to you now: VUG, VIG, Dividend Appreciation Fund, and the triple Qs. Right? It's just a little bit more my flavor, and to each his own as to what they choose. Okay. Anyone who's created income selling covered calls is 10% a year an okay expectation. I think that's a great way of doing it. You need a sizable portfolio to do that. You need to be doing it on some quality so there can be some predictability by selling that premium. And I don't know if you're selling the premium within a tax advantaged account or within a tax account or a cash account, but options are a fabulous way amongst many to make really good money in the markets. It's something that I've engaged in. I love it, and I'll do more of it down the line. I've just felt like the stocks that I really want to sell premium against now don't don't pay quite the premium. In other words, it's not really worth it for me for the small amount of risk that I'm willing to take to collect the premium for a month or so. If you're looking at longer durations than that, great. But it's a strategy that I've shelved for now. I really do enjoy it, and I'll engage in it probably later on in life when we've got a lot more sizable of a portfolio. Okay, I do own long calls still on Hyliion. I did sell out of the premium on the drop right before the drop for Matterport. That was kind of wasn't a blowout quarter for them, and I was kind of surprised there. The stock really got whacked. It returned back today for sure. Nikola again went up for no reason at all. That it was positive that they have to pay 125 million for lying about their company for all the way through the SPAC process, and I think they should take it out of Milton's ass. To be honest with you, he won't pay. He won't pay any of it. He's a billionaire. He's got his ranch in Utah or wherever the hell it is. So good on him. That's what that should piss you off. I mean, for us retail investors, man, banding together sometimes is all we have to fight the powers that be. But There's no way out of general principle that I could even invest in Nikola, let alone that I think that the company is garbage anyway. They will fall on hard times. There's no way that they can keep up generating the stock from scratch. Their margins are not going to support any type of anticipated cash flow with the business model that they have. They're not going to be able to do it. No way. And I find it funny. They're like, yeah, we're going to roll out 25 trucks. And the market's like, oh, that's incredible. Nobody questions like who those trucks are going to. You know, it's going to go to dealers and it's going to go to fleets. What fleets? Like really? Nobody asks that question? I know. Ryan, you're being too scrutinizing. Okay. I just know what questions to ask, I guess. Be a little bit open if that's, some news that makes the stock go up 25%. I don't get it. So it was nice to see it get its ass kicked today. It got kicked in the face. It dropped heavy today. It was nice to see. Larry Massa says AMD's on fire. Certainly. So is Nvidia. Yeah, Nvidia best in breed there for sure. I love Adobe in the space. I do own a little dab of AMD. It's one of the 79 in the dividend growth portfolio. But yeah, it's been on fire. It's been on fire before, really before the year. It kind of got into some meme craze earlier on today, and AMD was starting to trade really beyond its fundamentals, which was really unfortunate because AMD doesn't need any help. They're a fabulous, fabulous chip maker. They're superior to Intel, which pains me to say that, but sometimes these legacy businesses, man, they sit back on their morals too long and too IBM is a perfect example of that. It was nice to see the KD split off and end up in the account, but they just sit back and they do make huge money, but in the eyes of the market, they start to grow mold, and they start to be some of those companies that people look at and start to put them in the value trap category. Yeah, they pay a 4% dividend. Who cares? Are they growing? Are they going to eventually just kind of die on the vine a little bit? So those questions are all valid. Absolutely. I got ethos in the. I've been seeing you for a long time, my friend. It's great to see you. Great coming into the holiday season, seeing some of these original gangsters coming back into the independent investor channel community. Why? Because they're part of it. Let me see if I can kick over to YouTube and throw Ethos a bone. There he is. I'm going to throw Ethos a bone. Oh, he's already a moderator. Fantastic. Yeah, it's great to see you, my friend. Thanks for stopping in. I know you're a busy family man, but shout out to you and the family. It's great to see you, man. Very cool. And David Mathis is in there. I bought some. Yeah, well, CRM is the play. CRM was a mistake for me to sell. I made a ton of money, really, but it's been fabulous. I think it's best in breed. Dow component now. Great pickup for the long term. Stock will double in 5 years. It's an easy doubler. So depending on how much capital you put to work here, it's probably got to be closing in on 300 a share anyway. Just be prepared to double that in 5 years. Hold it long. It's not going anywhere. Salesforce is a beast. Good stuff. Rolling, baby. Chugga, toot. I love it. Very cool. It's great to see the results. They focus more on R&D. TSM makes all the chips. Very cool. Alexa, it's great to see you. TSM is the cheat code to play all semis. Very cool. I appreciate you offering that, man. That's cool. So it's my LRCX, AMAT, KLA. Very good. Appreciate just sharing your insight with the group. Very cool. Rebecca says, good job, Kenny. None of these ETFs have beaten ARK over the past 5 years. Just because you don't like art doesn't mean it. Yeah, and then that's the thing. Different strokes for different folks. And, I'm all about it. If you take a little bit more risk and put it on the table, you're going to get me to tip the hat for you. I'm telling you, it's not for me. It doesn't mean it's not investable, right? Take a piece out of my playbook, guys. You don't have to be the know-it-all, end-all, be-all of everything investing. Why? Because as much as Jeremy wants to profess to be the end-all, be-all, all knowing, all seeing, all being of the stock market, I hate to bust his bubble or any other asshole who wants to come on and profess that they're a stock god. I'm going to tell you that they don't exist, just like ghosts don't exist. Sorry to bust your bubble, all those folks that are coming off of Halloween. They don't exist. Okay? Let me just give you some facts, okay? They don't exist. Let it go. All right? Nobody knows it all. when it comes to the stock market. Nobody special who comes onto YouTube and says, hee hee, I got a YouTube channel. I'm special. Look at me. Here's my angle. Here's my angle. Nothing special. 500, 600, 700,000 YouTube channels now coming on, all talking about the same thing. There's my big stock of the week. Shit I used to do, and I won't do it anymore. I won't do it anymore. It's a waste of freaking time. It's a waste. Either you want to do it or you don't. You want to say I can do it. You can do it. I'm working with people in this group, man. Like I saw passive income in the group here. Kyle, Matt, those guys are hustlers. Hustlers. They're trying to get ahead. And I can guarantee you there's a half a dozen or a dozen other ones with just as much ferocity. Sarah Logston, this young lady. Yeah. Fighter. Phenomenal investor. Carving out a piece for her. Not for me. Not for anybody else, but her and her family. Very simple. Okay. Don't make it more than it needs to be. Focusing on VOO and Nusi the past few months. I'm good. This is how she talks. I've had meetings with her. She's awesome. This makes sense. I'm going to do it. Like, don't make it more of a difficult thing, asshole. Right? It's not that hard. Okay. And for savvy investors like this, that again, I always want to pry a little bit and say, had you not made the decision to invest or learn a little bit more about investing, would you be in the shoes that you're in now had you not made those decisions in your past? And I ask that rhetorically for you to ask yourself. For me, hell no. And I don't mean to answer it for anybody else. It carries more weight when it comes from somebody like Rebecca or Sarah or any of these other successful investors. Tenfold, 100-fold that I've met through the independent investor opportunity. It's all about your individual ability to separate from the sheep. Okay. Write your own path. Okay. Stop sticking your nose up the backside of somebody else. Okay. It smells. Okay. And human beings are very keen to avoiding other people's shit. Okay. So just keep your nose out of it. Okay. Look for your own path. If people want to call you weird, wonderful. Wonderful. Yes, I am individual. Absolutely. There's nobody like me. Okay. At least I have yet to meet anybody like me. But it's cool when I get to talk to people like Sarah and it's like, whoa, dang, you really believe what you're putting down. And she will tell you, yes, I do. This is what makes sense for me. Some of the stuff you talk about, Ryan, doesn't make sense for me. And I'm like, damn, right on. Finally, somebody who wants to actually stick up for what it is that they do. Right, wrong, or indifferent. They're sticking up for what it is that they do. Okay. You kind of start to see where this movement is going. Not everything has to be socially acceptable. Okay. Let it go every now and then. It's okay. If it feels right, do it. Feels right, then it's probably good. Okay. Do that. All right. Don't do it because your neighbor said you need to do it. Okay. Don't buy a new car because your neighbor has one and says, this is incredible. You got to go do it. And you feel bad because he or they have something that you don't have, it's just terrible. And you lay wide awake and you just can't sleep because you just can't get over the fact that they have something and you don't. Have it in the back of your mind that you know more than the next person. All right. That's wealth that nobody can take away from you. And it has nothing to do with the size of your wad. Get over yourself. Okay. Awesome. Passive income is the bottom comment. Investing isn't fun when everyone agrees with you. Oh, come on, Kyle. Good grief, man. You get so much love over your channel. Everybody loves Kyle. See, Kyle pokes the bear. That's what I like about Kyle. He's like, here, let me throw this son of a bitch out there. Here, deal with this. People need that because people are pussies. Really. Like, people don't like to engage in, like, cross communication that's a little bit engaging, and the voice elevates a little bit. And it's like, oh, tone it down a little bit, Ryan. You know what I mean? You need to be a little bit nicer with your application. Everybody's good. No, they're not. There's some god honest bad people in this world. There's a lot of assholes in this world. Bad effing people. Bad. And those are the very people that I like to probe right in their side. Here you go. Right on, man. You think you know it all? Wow. 50, 60, 100,000 in debt. That's awesome, man. You got some beautiful cars in the driveway. That's fabulous. That house that you have that you've refinanced 3 or 4 times, that's awesome. Nobody sees that though. Everybody sees your wonderful house with fabulous curb appeal, but that's fabulous. You have not 2 nickels to rub together with any type of sizable wealth that's worth a damn, right? Okay. Pick your poison. All right. The temptation will be vast. And yeah, no, I do agree. I think investing is interesting. There are common themes within investing that I do foot stomp through the opportunity because beginning investors need to hear those common themes. They don't need to stray away from the importance of averaging to the market every month, dollar cost average, that type of thing. They need to hear that stuff. They need to understand the importance of diversification. And you think, God, Ryan, you need to show your portfolio and show that you do that. Jesus, really? I don't expect people to show me their portfolio. Hey, Rebecca, I don't believe you. I don't believe you that you just surpassed your 150. You need to show me. You need to show me, Rebecca, because that's just not good enough for me. Right? See how absurd that is? All right, I can throw her a wrench. Hold on a second. Let me cruise in there. Sarah's only been with the channel for like, I don't know, eons and eons there. I just anointed her with a wrench because I like her a lot. She has got fire. I've met with her one time. She's just a fabulous person. This is freaking fabulous. I love it, man. Some of the cool opportunity that we have through the Independent Investor channel to actually meet some of these really cool people, man. And if you take some of the pedigree of what it takes to be a successful retail investor, with society with its boot on the top of your head all the time, and you're watching people, and yeah, it should kind of piss you off every now and then. It seems like everybody out there is just trying to compete with everybody else. It's like, oh my goodness, I got to get this new SUV, it's incredible. Oh my goodness, how much did you spend? 72,000. I spent 77,000 on mine. Really? We're going to the lot this weekend. We're going to try to spend 80 because we got to beat you, right? Seems like everybody wants to spend my money for me. I know, I know, man, and I don't care. Like, if you came to me and said, and I know people, I know multimillionaires with, at least 7. There's some 8-figure portfolios in the community. I won't disclose those folks, but who cares? It's wonderful. You have sizable wealth. That's lovely. It just does not, it doesn't make you that much better of a person. Like, how do you engage in your business? How do you engage with others? What do you do to help others? Do you do anything to help others? Are you an asshole? Ask yourself, look in the mirror and say, God, Ryan posed the rhetorical to me. I didn't hear anything about his I can lesson, but I did hear, geez, I should look in the mirror and ask myself, are you an asshole? Not the Jack Handy, like, you're a good person. People like you. No, no. Ask yourself, okay? If you're an asshole, clean it up. You don't need to do that anymore. All right? Chill out. Yeah, they are. I'm sorry to speak the truth, especially Americans. Americans are bitches, big time. Americans are bitches. I used to, when I was fishing on the boat, man, down in LA in San Pedro, I used to wake up every single morning to this. You want to know what it was? 6 Italians who would come down to the dock and sit on a 5-gallon bucket. They were conversing, but it sounded like they were arguing, ready to go to fisticuffs. Boom, boom. And I'm sleeping on the dock, right? I'm sleeping on the boat. And I would wake up to that every single morning. I'm tired, right? I've slept 3-4 hours because we just offloaded over in Terminal Island. We come, tie the boat up, fall asleep, boom. And I wake up to, and they're all talking at the same time. Italians, baby. They're just communicating. They love each other. They're going to go drink some vino that night and love each other because that's what it's about. Americans, we're all a bunch of pussies. Like, I'm going to sue you. That you harmed me. You harmed me with your words. Don't be a bitch. Absolutely. I am fired up. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. Maybe Sean doesn't have a wrench. I'm going to go over and throw a wrench at Sean too. See what's going on. Where are you at, Sean? Come on, buddy. I got to pick you out of the crowd here, man. Yeah, there he is. I'm throwing wrenches at the crowd. Anybody else want a wrench? If you throw up the V, You can have a wrench tonight. I've already awarded a ton of them, man. Let's cruise up to the top of the stream and finish it out. I'm not going to get to the lesson tonight. Yeah, I can. Let me roll through it. Because if somebody at 59 minutes, there's 59 people in here, and watch, when I start this lesson, it'll go down to like 30. People will be like, I'm out of here. This guy sucks. I'm out of here. He's talking about gibberish with Italian, and he doesn't even speak Italian. I can. Here it is. I can do it on my own. Yes, you can. You do not need the help of the suits. Okay. Let the suits go. Okay. Okay. Listen to a guy on YouTube with a freaking US flag on his shirt. Okay. Listen to that. And if you second guess the fact that you got your information from a funny guy that talked about skinny dipping and killing bees when he was little in the mud and shit like that, if you feel bad about that, just make something else up. Be like, yeah, I went in and I met with a planner, and they were really polished. They knew what they were talking about. I didn't want to do business with them, because their expenses were a little bit tough for me, and didn't offer me enough golf outings per year, right? So I'm going to go ahead and engage in the self-directed opportunity because of my own self research and due diligence on the topic. I can save tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. Go ahead and do that. Okay. Forget that you ever met me. Okay. Because I'm right and you'll win. You're welcome. Okay. I can do it on my own. I can build wealth. You have to build wealth. If you want to be a successful investor, you have to build wealth. You have to put wealth to work. You have to let it build. You have to put it to work. You have to let it grow. Put it to work. Let it grow. You can't just not do it. Okay. It's not going to build if you don't do it. You can't build wealth without doing it. Understand? I can. Try putting more than $500 to work in a savings account. If you're one of those people out there that can't save a freaking dime, okay? Because you're so busy saying, I can't. I can. I can build wealth. I can do it, Ryan, because you're the man. I am the man, and you're the man, and you're the woman. You can do it, okay? Fantastic. I can spend less. I can spend less, okay? I say this all the time. You buy too much crap, let it go, okay? You don't need all the crap you buy. Buy some crap if it makes you feel happy, but you don't need all the crap that you have. I can spend less. Look at it the opposite way, okay? Over the last 5 years, I've fallen victim to spending every last waking dime that I have. Has it made me any happier? Am I happier? If you are truly happier, keep spending. I just want you to ultimately be happy. But if you can honestly look in the mirror and say, God, I'm not kind of feel worse. You know what I mean? Like I don't even feel guilty when I like spend all my money and I have nothing for myself afterwards. Really? That's a problem. Spend less. I can spend less. Can remain disciplined. Okay. Engage in a program only to fall on tilt and sell out of everything because that guy on YouTube, that son of a bitch, the stock market went down 6%. I lost $14. And that bastard, I knew I shouldn't have listened to somebody on YouTube. That was my problem. I need to go in and talk to the sophisticated, the one in the suit. You know what I mean? The suit and tie. I had to get my good information. He's going to bend me over the table, man, when I leave with fees for the rest of my life and not give me the common courtesy of a reach around. Okay. Yeah. But it feels good. And I can tell people I'm with a planner professional. Okay. Don't pay too much attention to the results that'll be rendered from that. Okay. But I can't tell people that I got my information from a guy off of YouTube. Guy's freaking nuts. People accuse him of being weird. Envision yourself being successful. Here's a good one. How many of you actually believe that you'll make that $250,000 mark? How many actually believe? Rebecca, this question is for you. Wake up, Rebecca. She's probably in the emergency room. I'm busy, Ryan. Leave me alone. I'm listening. Did you ever think that you were going to get to $100,000 of invested capital in your life? Be honest. If you say, yes, Ryan, I did, wonderful. If you say, no, Ryan, I didn't, I would respect the latter more because that's probably closer to honesty. A lot of people can't envision themselves having $10,000 of wealth, let alone a six-figure portfolio of wealth. Okay? You have to envision success. I can beat the odds. Let me tell you, the stacks, the chips, they're stacked against you. People come on and they're like, Ryan, you're fired up. I get fired up because things piss me off. A lot of people have it easy. Okay. Americans should have it the easiest. And it pisses me off how so many times we're all blasé about everything. It's gonna happen for me. I don't need to do that. Fucking go to work. That's for the birds. Who needs to work? I don't need to contribute. What are you talking about? This life owes me. Other countries are looking at it like, what the freak, man? Laying brick and shit and like making roads and actually doing real work, farming, doing real work, smith work, woodwork, whatever it is, trades work. Yeah, they're working and they're like, who are these entitled mothers? They're freaking human beings just like I am. Yeah. So when you have the opportunity and you don't take advantage of it, and those people are the worst. Oh my goodness. I have to, instead of I can, I have to. Okay. This is the urgent piece. I have to put this as a necessity. I have to avoid regret. Okay. Get over the regret. I have to embrace opportunity. We provide all kinds of opportunity. Okay. I gave you the skeleton key tonight. I gave you a whole host of products in the portfolio review. If you paid attention, if you got none of it, go back, stop it. You'll see what I invest in. Those ticker symbols are real, and so is the dollar amount. I have to evolve. I give the 5 year scenario to say, where was I 5 years ago? Where am I now? Have I progressed in certain capacities? Be honest. Give yourself credit if you've evolved. Okay. That's a good thing. All right. I must. I must define a strategy. I must define my own personal capability. I must define my tolerance to risk. Like, how much risk do I envision being able to take on? I must internalize this opportunity. How do you do that, Ryan? I don't know. Just watch the Independent Investor live stream. Okay. You can get motivation through osmosis. Okay. I highly doubt you get that from the stock god. I've tried. I don't get any motivation from him. He pisses me off, so I don't watch him anymore because he's full of shit. Uh, Trust your insights. Spend less. This is in the I must category, not I can, because people who I can, maybe you can't. It's okay. I'll be fine, Ryan. Leave me alone. Overcome debt. Yep. Overcome doubt. Overcome your fear, right? Remember those personal barriers that I talked about? Focus on yourself. Expect bad things to happen to yourself. Yeah, everything's not going to go through life and be hunky dory. It's okay. Expect bad times. I've been chalking up in the live stream for the most part of 2021 and being like, I'm getting my ass kicked. How you guys doing? I'm doing great. I'm killing it. Yeah, good. I'm kind of getting my ass kicked over here, but um, we're not getting our ass kicked anymore. We're doing fine. Believe in yourself, and you have to start something. You have to start. Start. Do something. I don't care what it is. Start. 500 away. $5 dollar cost. Buy the VOO. Whatever you got to do, you got to start something. Okay. The 3 things I've done in my life, the scariest things that I trusted my instinct on: start a YouTube channel, survive boot camp. That was tough. I was scared. Scaredest time I've ever been in my life. In retrospect, I shouldn't have been so scared, but I still take lessons in the military forward that I learned in boot camp. And to take it that seriously then really shaped how it is that I interact now within my military profession. And then the last one, man, I alluded to it in this live stream. This was a very powerful one. I'm very, very satisfied with how this turned out. When I strike this inner nerve of myself, I'm the best. Okay. You get the most value out of that. Remember, I'm not going to send you a bill. It's okay. I'm not one of those like, it's a free consultation, but you're going to get the bill in the mail. You can join my private group for $20,000. I'll give you 15,000 off of it. Yeah. And I'll offer you monthly installments if you'd like. I'm going to become a millionaire. Okay. Dare to suggest those things that a lot of people look at and they think are pipe dreams. Okay. Pursue them. Remember at the top of the live stream tonight, I talked about the very chance of me becoming a millionaire. It's becoming more of an utter certainty. The element to that end is going to be the aspect of how much time we need to throw down on this, guys. I really want to wish everybody a happy Veterans Day this week. Appreciate all you guys. We dig deep. I aim to probe. Okay. So if you're offended by my message, good. You'll be back next week. If not, you don't like it, no problem. Good luck to you. I love you and all the same. It's no big deal. If you think I'm weird, I am. I am. I just told you why tonight. So, want to wish everybody well this weekend and into next week. Start to enjoy as we move into holiday season. Start to appreciate what it is that you have in this life. If you are a candidate for change, hopefully this is one of those messages that can allow you to break away from your personal barrier of always saying, I can't, to saying something along the lines of, I can. We'll catch you next week on the live stream, Fast to 60 Minutes on YouTube. Thanks a lot, guys. Be well. We'll catch you next week. No!